Hello, this is Jason and Zena here to talk to you about what we learned in the last month in Technology of Entertainment and Media course. I can honestly say I've learned a lot of things taking this course, a lot more than I thought I would. One of the big things that I think I took away would be how intertwined all of our different departments inside of this are, how game media and everything can play in just as easily with design when it comes to mobile development. You never know what project you're going to be working on and who you need to work with. So there's always that. And that's something that I probably took for granted before, not networking with some of my fellow students that I should have, and taking the time to actually get to know them better and everything. So as far as what I learned about my own future, I would have to say where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. I realized that I probably want to work more on applications than I do actual operating systems. I definitely want to work with Apple if at all possible. I admire Apple as a company. I'm actually working with Apple in one of the retail stores right now, and I would love to continue and to grow with them and be able to work over in California, where it's a lot nicer here in Indiana, where it's 45 degrees and almost May. But, it's part of the Midwest. But I would honestly have to say that's probably the biggest thing I learned is what I wanted to do. And fitness has always been a big thing for me. I was in the Marine Corps. My wife is a nurse, so those are two very big things that influence the way I like to do things. Even though I have bulldogs and they are lazy, they are a lot of fun, and we like to play with them as well. Going forward, the biggest things is the calendar that we made in the first week. That right there, using that to basically help time everything and plan everything out is huge. I mean, you're able to, as long as you keep it updated. If you don't update it, it's not going to work for you. That's one thing I will tell you. So make sure that you keep it updated. The other thing would be the networking skills that I learned, different profiles, what each industry uses the most as far as networking, where to get information for conferences, things like that. Those will be things that I continue to use throughout the time, because those are things that are always going to be big no matter what. You're always going to be sitting there trying to figure out, where can I go to push myself forward. So using the information that I got from this is going to actually help me a lot through that, and I will continue to use it through my professional career, because we're always going to have deadlines. So planning your time out accordingly to make sure that you can meet those deadlines is obviously a very big thing. As far as advice to give to upcoming classes and students, I would have to say my biggest one is don't take networking for granted, and use the calendar you make. Update it, continue to update it. You're not going to know everything for the entire month on your first week. You're going to know a few things, but continue to use it. It's going to be a big lifesaver. That's probably the biggest thing that I would honestly say that I use. And don't forget to network with your fellow students. Those people are going to be huge in your future as well. You never know what they're going to be working on or what you're going to be working on. So getting to be able to stay in touch with people across the industry, utilize that. Don't take anyone for granted in your courses going through school, and continue to network throughout school. Use your profiles that you create through this. Use Meetup to find local groups. I was amazed when I used Meetup to figure out how many groups there were around me that were focusing on mobile development, and that's kind of crazy. I don't live in a huge town. I do live by Notre Dame, so I live in an area this big, but they're not big towns. So to see 3 or 4 different groups outside of Chicago, I knew Chicago would always have some, but to find some that are all within a half an hour of where I'm at is always going to be huge. So use that, use your skills that you learn, use your networking. And now my dog is trying to eat my hoodie string, so I apologize for that. She's a very distracting person at times, but she's also very loving. So, but yeah, just don't give up. Make sure, keep pushing yourself forward. Strive to be the best you can, accomplish everything you can, and go from there. That's the best thing I can tell you. So I wish everybody good luck. Continue your networking, continue to learn with new people, and just be excited in everything you do. That's the best advice I can give you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I wish you all the best.